Telegram's up to 195 members.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get that past 1,000, and then we're moving to Discord. Okay, guys, on IMC. Oh, shit. My bad. Oh, I was streaming this to the IMC TV YouTube. That's not at all what. No. Never mind. I'm just logged in on the wrong channel. This is the Stoic Temple. Okay, cool. Stoic Temple people, join our Telegram. I'm going to post the link right there. Dang, Stoic Temple YouTube keeps growing. Join the open IMC Telegram group chat. See all the top things. Okay. Turn your phone volume down from Insta so it won't echo. I don't know if he's saying that to me or you. I don't know if he hears my echo or your echo, but you could turn the phone volume down and then there wouldn't be an echo.
Okay.
My boys experienced Lone Star 501 experience.
It's funny, I just messaged Lone Star, I think.
Right on. There you go.
Cool.
Sounds like someone wants to be part of the tribe. So also this will be even more fulfilling and enriching as you guys, you're new guys. A lot of you are new people that, you know, are coming to these accounts. You've discovered these accounts. You've discovered AZD thanks to our efforts. Just be aware that AZD lectures, it's a paid program, shows up. We all show up. Then we grab those recordings and we send it to one of the staff members. They clip up some of the better clips that are more like powerful sound bites, like 30-second sound bites or whatever. Then they go through all the arduous effort of putting captions on it, music and everything, because people are not they don't have long attention spans. So we got to make it entertaining for you and make some good clips with good music and whatever. And sometimes they go more or less viral. They like do really well. Hundreds of thousands of views and, you know, new followers and everything. But that's how we're spreading the word. We're getting the word out because the Instagram accounts are mostly censored. I mean, he just had his account deleted for the 3rd time. So this is his 4th private account. And he doesn't do any of the posting himself. He just shows up and teaches. I run the business for him. Sultan is starting to run the business. And, you know, he's taken over communication lines on a couple of social accounts that we've created with these clips. It's just pure raw clips of AZD because, I mean, a lot of people have seen like Andrew Tate or some of these other guys. And what AZD is so much greater. Dude, the strength of the tribe and the people that follow him, the way that he gets women, which is what he's kind of known for. That's what made him famous. And just the level of his game and awareness. I mean, it's so dope. So people have joined. Everybody's on. So let's start talking. Guys, on the Stoic Temple YouTube, click the link so you can join the Telegram group. That's where all of the most there's a lot of things that we can't post on Instagram because we'll get censored and banned and snowflakes get butthurt and they like complain about you or whatever. So in the Telegram group, it's free. We're freely posting a lot of really dope shit that it helps you free up as a man to see other men posting about this shit because you're too suppressed. You're a lone wolf out there. You can't speak your mind. You can't say, you know, what's on your mind about this or that. Like I was just at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy and afterwards I was telling them like how fucking stupid girls are. Girls are not the same women that they were as my mother. As my grandmother, it's just not the same kind of women. It's a different kind of women. And I was like, women, they're just so stupid. One guy was talking about like sexual prowess of a girl. And I was like, man, I don't care how good a girl is at sex. She'll get better when she's with me. I care how she treats me. I want a girl like the other day, my mom was having trouble deciding on iPhone. She didn't know technology at all, but I was on lecture. I couldn't help her. And I was like, do you care if my girl calls you? And she was like, no, it was the first time my girl and my mom have ever spoken. And it was so nice to be able to trust that my girl's going to know how to behave on the phone with my mother because I put her through the ring of fire for 2 years. Like she's going to be right. And that's what you want in a woman that can join your family and your tribe and move things forward and not give you like shit, not make you worry and doubt and shit. So I'll end the soundtrack. Hold on. Other cell phone is playing. Pause. Okay. So I hand it over to my colleague Sultan. He's a guardian, which is a ranked officer in IMC Nation. Maybe from your perspective, like, you know, what do you think about like what do people need to know about IMC Nation? Like if you were going to give them a really exciting, 30-second pulse of like, this is IMC, this is what it is to me, and this is what I think you should know about what IMC is.
Yeah. First, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, it's cool because when I first started coming around, there really was no. I mean, the IMC Nation was IMC Nation, but
Yeah.
it was just AZD.
How long have you been around?
I think 3.5 years, four,
3.5 years.
almost 4 years, I think.
What was that like? What was that transition from being not part of IMC to all of a sudden being part of IMC? Like, what did that look like for you? Because a lot of these guys, they're not really IMC yet. They're just watching AZD clips.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? You've been around for 3.5 years. Go back 3.5 years. What was the transition from not to yes?
You said from not being a part of IMC to being a part of IMC, the transition.
What started this clock that you're now measuring as 3.5 years? Like, when did that start? What made that you were part of IMC 3.5 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, well, it first started with, I went to an event that somebody was hosting and AZD was guest speaker.
Vince Kelvin, master pickup
artist.
Yeah, Vince Kelvin. Never heard of Vince. Vince Kelvin's been a pickup coach for like 30 years. And this guy, has like thousands of makeouts on the street with girls, and he was collaborating with AZD on pickup and relationship events. So that's where Sultan went.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the first event I went to. And, it really it stemmed down to just not knowing how to interact with people socially.
Yeah.
Like I was telling this guy the other day, I was like, bro, like 3 years ago, I couldn't even talk to like somebody. Like I couldn't even like get on this call right here and talk to like however many people are on. And he was like, are you serious? He's like 3 years ago? He's like, you couldn't talk to anybody? I said, dude, 3 years ago, I couldn't even or maybe 4 years ago, I wasn't able to go into a store and have a conversation with somebody. Like if I went into the store and I couldn't find what I wanted, I would just walk out. I wouldn't even try to figure out like where the thing is. Like I wouldn't even ask a worker there because I didn't know how to, I couldn't interact. I was like socially awkward or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like all these labels that they have, social anxiety. And that's like, I'm the exact opposite of that now. Like I'll go in looking for people to talk to, really.
When you're competent, man, it's easier. Like
totally.
You know what to say. Like, and then it's like,
Yeah. So that was really what it started from. Like it was just that, because I was doing real estate. So if you're doing real estate, you got to be good with people. And I don't think there's ever like you're just like the best with people. There's always like room for improvement. So, I was getting good, but I wasn't I didn't know anything about social dynamics.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Awareness.
When you have a job that has you interacting with people, you will get better at interacting with people in that context. But outside of that context, you'll still not know how to interact with people. It's just at your job, you're good. And then outside of the job, you're still like just as you ever were.
Yeah, exactly. So so that was like really what inspired me to start studying this stuff, like social dynamics and relationships. And when I first found out about AZD, I think I saw maybe like one video of his. I saw about one AZD video, and then right after that was around the time where I did messengers.
Yeah, so this is an advanced training program. Okay, so all right, so that's the transition. You were looking for social interaction skills, relationship skills, pickup skills. You went to an event, that's where you met AZD, and you were like, fuck yeah. And then you started going at it, doing events and coming in person. And
and it was really just, if I could say one more thing to add on that, which would kind of connect, it would make the bridge a little bit more clear. It would be that, I just got sick of being in that condition of like not knowing how to interact with women, not knowing how to interact with men. And you got to get to the point where you're just so sick of being in that condition that you'll do anything. You don't give a fuck. Like you'll do whatever it takes to get out of that.
It's different. It is different for everybody. We have guys that were ladies' men that joined IMC. They knew how to get girls, but they have sometimes it's not necessarily not knowing how to interact. It's rarer that more people that come are the guys. I mean, like myself, I was suffering with social interactions. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Obviously, I had been with girls. I'd even had girlfriends, but it was just, I was at a loss for the cause and effect. I didn't know how to make it work. I was just kind of going off of the patterns that I saw with my parents, but that's archaic. It's old school and it doesn't really work with the new culture. So I was looking for those more modern skills and to alleviate my suffering, because it was such a struggle to like find girls attractive and even be able to talk to them even a little bit, but then just watch their attraction plummet. Like you can tell they're just no longer into you. They liked how you looked, but because I had a good body, but it was like, man, what is wrong? But then there are also guys that join IMC that get girls, but in some cases it'll be a case of they're fake and they know they're fake.
Yeah.
They have developed a fake skill set, like the pickup artist, and they get girls, but they're still inside. They're just not in tune with themselves. There'll be other guys who their families are falling apart. Like it's not even women that they have a problem with. It's just like their wife and their mother, and they're being held down, and they don't know how to handle their family. They feel like their confidence and their expression is stifled. But definitely the biggest demographic is going to be guys that are looking, in that typical dating advice, pickup, whatever. And AZD's a master. He has 5 girlfriends. They're super fine. They all know about each other. He lives like a bachelor. He's talking to like 3 or 4 or 5 other super fine women. Like, I mean, dude, like very, very, very hot women. And talking to him like an alpha male, dude. And they all know about, like, it's just mind blowing. And when you see that and you're like, dude has 2 arms, 2 legs, speaks the English language. Why the fuck can't I do that? And you can. It just takes training. You know what I mean? And anyway, so that's kind of the transition that brought you into IMC. Now, what would you describe IMC Nation? What is IMC Nation? Sultan lives with AZD, the founder of IMC. And he's lived with AZD for the last 2.5 years with me. I've lived with AZD also. But I'm curious from his take, and then, of course, I'll add my take. And then anybody on Instagram or the YouTube, click the link in the bio or on the comments. Join our Telegram group. So it's going to be way better for you.
Yeah, TK made a good point too, real quick. He said that TK on Zoom, because we're also on Zoom, everybody.
Yeah.
He said, a lot of guys come in, they know how to get girls, but they can't keep them around.
Yeah, that's right. I was just saying that on my podcast this morning.
Yeah.
When I first started coming around, I would get more girls, but I just couldn't. Oh, maybe that's why TK is even saying that. He was on the podcast this morning. That's, man, how frustrating. And then you see this, it's just, there's levels to this, and you can see the levels. Like, first you get a girl and then she doesn't stick around. Then you get a girl and she sticks around a little longer, but then she doesn't really stick around. Then you get a girl and she sticks around, but then you want to bring another girl in on it, and then you lose them both. And then you get a girl, you get 2 girls and they stick around, but then they go off on their own and have a fucking lesbo relationship. That happened to me. Then you get a girl and she sticks around while you get other girls, and she keeps sticking around, but you can't get another girl attracted enough to want to stick around. So you have all these like one night flings or whatever with girls while you're holding down a relationship. And that's another level. That's like God level for most guys, but it's still going to be unfulfilling. You want another dynamic to balance your current relationship. Those double relationship, having 2 relationships, keeps both girls in check. But I mean, I've said all this before, like, you really need 4 relationships. At 3, it's too close to 2. 2 is too close to 1 because they can gang up on you. But if you have 4, then even if you lose 1, you're still at 3. And if you have 3, then you're good, because the 3 girls can't be loyal with each other. So one of them is going to go on your side, and then you'll stay in power. So that's the multi-relationship model that I've discovered it from watching AZD. Okay, yeah. So that was TK's comment. So yeah, what is IMC Nation?
Yeah, IMC Nation to me, man, is when I think of IMC Nation, I think of just like family, really. I don't, there's other words you could put on. You call it like a brotherhood. We could call it that. I mean, that's kind of cheesy, really. When I think of it as a brotherhood, it's more like I think of it as a family, or just like really close friends, that we've known each other for like years and years and years.
You feel like that even when you see it, it's not really that they've been around for years,
right?
Necessarily. So what is that? How is that possible to feel like you've known each other for years or longer?
Yeah, well,
and it doesn't always happen. It's not every new guy that comes in. There's something about the guy's dedication and his attraction to the information.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like there's Sammy. You remember Sammy when he came here like a week
Yeah,
or two ago?
local guy.
Yeah, he's a local guy, and he's never been. He just got on Dragon's Lair, which is now Midday Gospel, AZD's coaching program, where he coaches 6 days a week online. And that was his first time like ever getting on any program. And I find out that he lives 30 minutes away, so I invite him over. And he's never been to a base. He's never met AZD. He's only heard of me and Yogi, Chris, and Fernando, who lives with us as well, uh, through Instagram. He's never met any of us in person or talked. Like he's messaged with us on text. I've never talked to him on the phone or FaceTimed or anything. And I've never seen him really post on Instagram. He's seen me post a bunch, so he knows a lot more about me than I know about him.
Yep, that's how it is.
So I invite him over, and that same goes for Yogi Chris. He knows more about Yogi Chris. He knows more about Fernando than they know about him. So he comes over, and for an advanced class where AZD's teaching here, right where I'm sitting. He was teaching, and me and him walked in, me and Sammy, and the dude just like daps everybody up, like everyone like says hi to him or whatever, and then he sits down and he stays over like for a few hours. We watch a movie, order some pizza. And then the next day, I did a stream with him or a day or so later, and he tells me, he's like, bro, he's like, when I showed up, I felt like I've known everybody for like years, especially you, Fernando, and Yogi Chris. And I said, man, that's so cool because I don't know anything about you, but I felt the same way when I first met you. So, and really, I think the biggest thing is that guy has, like many of the IMC guys, we have similar values, we have similar beliefs, and like we don't want to hang out with a bunch of pussies. Like that guy's not a fucking liberal. That guy's like, that guy's like, that dude is all about the movement. Like he's about, spreading truth. And, the guy's got similar values. Yeah, go ahead.
The word you just said was he's all about the movement. Now, would you go into that? What is the movement?
Yeah, the movement.
Because that's IMC Nation. Oh, well, actually, no, that's the nation is what you're describing, the family.
Yeah.
But now I'm real curious about like what would you describe as the movement? He's down with
when I say the movement, I see, man, because the world is going the wrong way. Like the world is going the wrong direction. Like with everything that's going on, I mean, with the whole transgender thing, with with Biden being in office, I mean, it's just going the wrong way. And they're, and the thing with women, I mean, dude, like what's going on with women? Like, man, I mean, women are so fucked up nowadays.
Men are too. Like, that's the thing. They're everybody's
exactly. And there's nothing to combat that. Like, I mean, yeah, there's people. I mean, there's people that think they're doing something, but they're not. They're just making like I don't know. Like when I see like people on social media, yeah, there's little things, but
like TM helps people.
Yeah.
There are people that do Michael Singer's part. Like everybody's got like pieces of the puzzle. There's people that are getting their business together. They're all gung ho. There's pickup artists that are trying to make them get choice with women, which is something it's a partial solution. They don't have the integrated thing, the integrated aspect. They're living double lives and they're denying certain of their needs to kind of focus on some of their needs. And, that's what we find when, guys come to us is they're not integrated and they're not fulfilled and they're looking for that next level of, integration because they see the example in AZD. I mean, you hear his philosophy in these clips. They're so powerful. People love them. They follow the page just because they want to see more clips. And, those clips come from somewhere. They come from lectures, and those lectures are broadcast to someone. That's the audience. The audience shows up to those lectures and they benefit. And then over time, I mean, I've been around for 8 years. So you get better and better and better at the skills that AZD is used to, tap into this wisdom and, manifest great relationships with guys too. I mean, we're about to do a music video with the legendary San Quinn. He was a world record holder in the Guinness Book for most rap collaborations. He's from North Bay. He's an OG. And we're doing a music video with him. It's like, and we're not paying for it like that. It's because of his friendship with AZD, because of who AZD is and how AZD talks. And, AZD has gotten through his coach. He's gotten guys that are in prison, lowered prison sentences because they were sneakily watching his lectures while behind bars and they had better communication and they got time taken off their sentence. There's guys that were going to get divorced and they saved their relationship. Guys that were being abused by their ex-wives and they got out of that situation. guys that were depressed or suicidal or on drugs or something, and they've gotten off of that stuff with right mindset, not with like sheepish AA shit and whatever. There's like another thing, like AA helps people. There are people that AA helps, but it has a ceiling on how far a person's going to get, because it's ultimately still kind of making you very it's just not this.
Yeah, and what you said about being fully integrated, because a lot of guys they're all about it, but then they're hiding, like they hide that they're about it. So is it lagging for you?
Well, there's a difference between Instagram and Zoom, but I hear it both.
Okay, yeah, my Instagram is lagging a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of guys especially, are hiding, like they're hiding that they want multiple women, or that they even like women. Like, to even say that you love getting women or you love women is like a fucking like a sin now. Like, if you say it on social media or post about it. And I see, like we were talking about Sammy that came over, and just the movement. Yeah, it's like you said, it's becoming integrated. Like, I see the movement as like the antivirus to to the way that the world is going.
Yeah. It's got a lot of cures. So what is the movement composed of? How do people get involved, and what is involved in the movement? I mean, is it just AZD teaching?
Can you say that one more time?
Is it just AZD teaching? Like, what do you consider? What is the movement?
Man, it keeps cutting out. You just to confirm, you said what is the movement? And
yeah, like, when people get involved. Here, I'll answer my own question. The character, we see AZD as an example, but it's inspiring and it feels strengthening because we see that character in us. And so as you watch these clips of AZD and how confidently and expressively he articulates these sophisticated but with basic language, these high-level talking points, these high-level perspectives and philosophies on women or on communication, on relationships, or mindset, imagination, like whatever these clips the content is. We may more selectively choose the female, the relationship clips and the pickup clips, because it's interesting. Sultan, are you oh no, I was looking at the YouTube, and the YouTube's like 20 seconds behind. So you were talking, and I'm like, are you talking? Because I don't hear you. So we do focus on, like, the relationship clips are the ones that do better on Instagram, but it's a full comprehensive mindset thing. And when we are inspired by that, I believe it's because we see that we're capable of that. We see ourselves doing that. And we're like, I think I can do that. It's not just, I'm like, that's what the inspiration is. When you listen to it and it rings true and you feel stronger. And at some point after you've listened to enough, you'll just start naturally using it in your own life. You'll be in a situation where the philosophy will come out. You'll say something to the girl or to your parents or something. You'll handle the situation different. You'll imagine something and it's like, whoa, you respond new and different. You're like, wow, that was empowering. That piece of information actually improved my survival or my relationships. And that's what philosophy does. And so as you come closer, you'll, at some point, I mean, it's going to be inevitable. I talk to guys all the time that are involved in the movement. Some guys wait 10 goddamn years before they sign up for a program. Some guys wait 2 weeks. I don't know all the variables that go into that. I don't care. I just care that they join, they get the value, that they improve their lives, and then they come and get more value. And then they improve. Like me, you just keep getting more value, improving your life more, getting more. And pretty soon you just get as close as you can, because you're like, man, this keeps improving my shit. And so I live with him. I run his business. And dude, the way I have my relationships, and my relationship just helped my mom, and I'm helping my parents with the way they deal with my grandma, because my grandma's very old and she's the last grandparent. She's alone and they don't know how to communicate with her. And like, it's a blessing that I have these skills of influence and whatever, that I can kind of interject a little bit, suggest some lines, and at a high level. I've been at this for 8 years. So it's not like 8 years ago I couldn't do something either. But now it's just even better. So part of it, when we are inspired by like, we can be this. As you join, as you get involved, you'll see there's books to read, there's movies to watch, there's scenes to examine, there's different practices and disciplines to put your life together so that, like AZD was teaching this morning, it's a process that produces something. There's a product. So the product is this character that AZD is a great example of this character. He's the epitome on earth of this character. And our character won't be the exact same as his, but there'll be essence and qualities that are similar. And so it's a process. And then as we all come up in our abilities, we achieve rank, we do streams, we share the message. Right now, I am something like an AZD to people that listen. And more as I go down this path, 10 years from now, I'll be more of a AZD-like character for people who listen. And so it's not just AZD. I mean, how many guys have shown up to so many of my streams and benefited from my Enlightened Masculinity podcast or whatever? But it's like straight AZD tech, so it's a meme that passes through us all that we improve our life with. And yeah, he's the fountain of it and the living manifestation of it. But we also study Michael Singer, who's alive, and Maharishi, who has 1,000 students or 1,000,000 students, really. Eckhart Tolle, other pickup coaches and whatever. It's an integration of a lot of things that work on their own, but that are working really well in a really fulfilling way with AZD because of the relationships with guys and girls, with family, the quality of communication, the freedom of expression, this thing that we love. And so IMC Nation, it's that following behind AZD that are studying character development and value truth, loyalty, brotherhood, honesty, expression, the power of imagination, liberation from the slave mind of the culture, the hive mind of communism that's taking over the planet. And that's what I see. Man, that's too much. That's too much for Instagram. That's too much for the YouTube. And so, yeah, I think everybody should join the Telegram group and, see that it's not just me and Sultan talking about AZD. It's not just AZD. It's those other guys. There's guys that are doing incredible things that you would just pay to learn from them because of how good they're doing. If you didn't know that they were paying to learn from AZD, then you'd be like, because once you know that, that's why that one pickup coach has 1 million followers, but doesn't ever tag IMC. But he's, come to so many camps online and studied, and he just parrots that information off to his audience. And he's got 1 million followers and a fully thriving relationship coach business, even though he's doing it. He's got different ideas about relationships in AZD. And that's why his girlfriend is hitting up AZD's girlfriend for relationship advice, because he's not giving her relationship advice. But that's, why was I saying that? People benefit. I forgot why I was even bringing that up. Well, whatever. Okay, we don't have to go forever. We've been going for a little while. If there were any questions or comments, maybe anybody in the Zoom audience, if there's anything, if you've had any recent experiences, like, talking with outsiders, people outside IMC, talking with your family, maybe hesitation around that, or, how that goes for you. Like I shared with you, I relayed the story of how I was just talking with the jiu-jitsu people, and I've talked about AZD. I mean, today at jiu-jitsu, I was asking the sensei about his lineage of jiu-jitsu, and I was like, because and I brought up AZD and Sandra Batata, and he's black belt under Batata, and man, I mean, it's just I introduced it. There were 4 guys that were sitting around listening, like kind of quietly, but giving me eye contact and body language. I was basically holding court for about 5 or 10 minutes, giving my story of since the age of 20 because they were asking me about wrestling, and I was saying how wrestling led into drugs, led into a girlfriend that we hated each other, led into a master's degree, led into yoga and a PhD, led into starting a led into social dynamics. And I used social dynamics to build a yoga business and get a bunch of girls. And then I started a travel yoga business, and then COVID shut it down and I moved here. And 15 years after I stopped wrestling, I realized that I talk tough, I act tough, but I can't remember if I'm really that tough. So I wanted to get into some fighting art so I could remind myself if I'm tough or not. And so it's not I remember at some point I said, because I don't really have time. It's I think one of them was suggesting that jujitsu is fun or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it is. It's just I don't really have time to do like fun things for myself. Like I'm always working. Like I said, I do fun things with girls. But when it's just me, it's got to be on purpose. Like I need some. And one of the guys, I could tell he like brightened up when I said that. And it was like, you don't got to chase fun activities. Like it's fun to make money. It's fun to do better in life so that when I hang out with girls or my brothers, then I can have more fun because there's just a freedom of generosity and experience that's available. And, you know, when all of that, my relationships and my business and everything is built on communication skills, then I am feeding the beast that's feeding me. It's a positive feedback mechanism where, you know, my business makes my communication better and my communication makes my business better. And it's the kind of communication I want because it gets me girls also, as well as money, girls and money. I mean, geez. And I think people think that maybe it's not that it's something else because the path to learning is so windy. There's so many things to cover and it's not a quick fix. You may get some quicker results, but then it's like, man, I need a whole mindset overall, a whole fashion overall, a whole everything overall. And I don't think it's worth it because I just don't think I'll succeed. And that's where I think guys, they drop off, but there's still 265 members in the program that, you know, at some level, they believe that they can get it. And I'm looking to expand that number. I want that number to 300 to 1,000. I want people all over. I want 300 bases. Right now we have 5 bases with 5 guys living, about 5 guys living in each one. There's 25 guys living together. I want 300 bases. So I want 1,500 IMC men living together in different cities around the world, taking over the culture, you know, influencing their cities and the businesses that know them. Oh, man. And to have 1,500 guys in bases, that means there'll be 10,000 members on the program. And that means we're going to need to talk to 1 million people. Sultan's at like 600 now. Okay, we got to go. Let's go.
600, yeah, close.
Yeah, I mean, it's a respectable number. Okay, so I'm just talking to fill the space, but we can wind it down. Appreciate the live attendance. Sultan, do you have any thoughts? What do people need to know about IMC?
I think, you know, the people that are new that haven't been around or just curious or, you know, what's going on. I mean, then join the Telegram. You know, there's a lot of stuff being posted, a lot of content being posted in the Telegram. And,
yep,
you know, that's probably the first place that I would start if I were you, is the Telegram. It's about, what, 200 people in there?
Yep.
200 people in the Telegram.
There's more people in the members program than on the Telegram group. So, yeah. I mean, it's just different people have time for different things. And some people are more or less aware of the group. And that's just what it is right now. We'll eventually move it over to Discord, which is better for community building because there's a lot of subgroups that people are involved in subgroups like My Enlightened Masculinity or Sultan has a group, the Round Table or Master Myself or these other guys, Oracle. Different people have groups. So the Discord app is better in the sense that all the groups are linked together through a common kind of group heading. But that doesn't mean that you see what's in each person's group. You can still make your group private, your subgroup private, but people in your group can find the bigger group. People in the bigger group can find the smaller group and then ask to be invited, asked to join. Mm-hmm. And so it's better for community building like that. And I think a lot of people use Discord. I don't know how many people use Telegram, but there's a little learning curve. So moving everybody over there is going to take some effort. So we'll grab some new people and get used to this. We have the different Instagram accounts. New ones are growing all the time. New content's being posted regularly. We have TikTok accounts that will go live on here soon. And
got an open class Friday.
We do have an open class Friday. We have an open class tonight with the officers.
Oh, so we do.
Me and Sultan speaking. And we'll be speaking at a higher level. So this has been as general as could be for the Instagrams and the YouTube. But then, yeah, Friday mornings is open class with AZD. So we should make all these announcements at the beginning of the streams because I don't know how many people listen to the end of the stream. But there they are. So, you know, you can DM the accounts to get to join. We have a newsletter that also announces it. The Telegram group announces. That's why we promote the Telegram group. Once you join there, and you're in there, then you kind of catch all the announcements and you won't miss anything.
Mhm.
Just check in with it once a day and scroll and see if anything you like.
Mhm.
Yeah, Aways. See, Aways is this guy. I think he's down. Man, I wish you made it in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your message. I haven't replied to it yet. Like, you know, it's not cheap to take advantage of AZD's offer unless you're lying about you have some trust fund about, you know, that you're holding back. But I don't think that's the case. So, you know, karmically, it might feel like you're in debt if you take advantage of that offer, but you're already in debt karmically to AZD. Don't worry about it. Like, the money you've paid so far is too low for what you've received, and you know it. So take advantage. If the credit loan is offering you a loan, take a fucking loan out against your life. Because what else are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? It's not even a loan. It's a karmic loan because you wouldn't even know. So I would sell some of your extra shoes or something. Sultan, talk to that guy about selling everything he doesn't need for training, because you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, I sold all my shit, bro. I sold like $6,000 worth of $7,000 worth of clothes and jewelry to get here.
And that's Sultan. I wonder how many millions of dollars Aways has. He's probably got so much just stockpiled. I'll bet weight equipment.
Hey, bro, if you need me to sell some of it, just hit me up, bro. We go 50-50 on it. I'll sell all that.
There you go. See, Sultan's a hustler. That's what I'm saying. If you want something done, you give it to a busy person. Okay. Anything else? Any other feedback from audience? I mean, you guys arrived and showed up. There's a lot of people on Zoom, so maybe next time we'll stream to one of these Facebook groups. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Sultan. We'll do another one of these streams soon, going deeper into another topic. And you can check out imcbase1.com for, you know, a list of the programs. Telegram group, obviously, that's in the bio right now, but it may not always be there. So you could DM the account for that. And I'll be messaging my account. You know, Sultan replies on his account. And yeah, all the other stuff has been said. So we have a saying in IMC Nation, and it goes OS. And this is a kind of a greeting and a goodbye.